So excuse the quality, but I'm out cleaning the front pasture, and this is how we roll. I've got my muck bucket that I'm pulling and the cat that's riding on my shoulders. We've been all over the pasture with him just riding along, purring and purring and purring. He's such a happy cat. How about it, Grizzy? Aren't you a happy cat? Oh.
We film. Everybody smile.
Oh, watch out, Annie. There we go. And this is precisely why I never need to go to the gym, because I'm climbing the hills, whoops, wrong way, climbing the hills of the pasture with a muck bucket behind me and a cat on my shoulders. It's a bit of a cardio workout. Chris. Today's bread baking day. It's early morning. I'm getting the fire ready. And as you can see, I've already put the Dutch oven in there. We're going to get that Dutch oven up to temperature while we get the fire going. The fire is sort of in the front of the oven. As it gets really well lit, I will push it back towards the back of the oven. And in the end, the fire will be in the very back of the oven. I'm going to have to use a laser thermometer to check the temperature because I certainly don't want to put bread into bake when it's like 1200 degrees in there. So my plan is to get this fire going this morning while we do chores, and then come back out a little bit later after the fire has sort of died down, check the temperature, and if it's somewhere in the 400s, I will pull the pot out, stick the bread in, and put the bread in to bake. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Good morning. It's bread baking day, but we have one small problem. Last week when I baked bread, I noticed a crack in the floor of my oven, and so in the meantime we've had to order a new oven and it won't be here till the end of the month. But we're out of bread, and so we need to be a little bit creative today. Yesterday I got up and I fed my starter, and last evening I mixed up the bread dough, let it rise, and then I've proofed the bread in the refrigerator overnight. So we're going to go out to the pizza oven and take our bread, which is ready to be baked, and make 2 loaves of bread. Okay, our pot is just a little over 400 degrees, which is good. The inside of the oven, however, is super hot, but we're going to give this a try anyways, see how it goes. Since the pot's in the front of the oven, it's not getting the same amount of heat as in the back of the oven. And we're only going to do 1 loaf at a time. Score it nicely. Make a little design in it. I'm going to sprinkle some rosemary sea salt on the outside of this loaf. This is a rosemary loaf of bread. Put it inside our pot. Lid back on. And pop it in our oven. I think I'm going to actually pull it a little bit further out. So it's not back in the back where it's 900 and some degrees. Close our door. And set my timer for a half an hour. Okay, a half an hour from now we're going to take the lid off and let it finish baking without the lid on. While we wait for our bread to bake, I thought I'd cut some kale from our indoor kale garden. We've had some pretty good success growing kale this winter. It's kept us supplied in kale for salads, and I'm going to make some smoothies this morning, so I'm going to cut some kale to put in those. Okay, time to take the lid off and see what it looks like. And then we'll decide how many more minutes to let it bake. normally about 20 more minutes. Oh, that one got a little bit dark on the top. You see what it feels like. I think it's done. Okay, so this was our first experimental loaf. Let's take it out of here. Oh, it's hard to get out. The parchment paper has disintegrated. So here is our loaf. It's light on the bottom, dark on the top. Still feels a little squishy. I think it needs a little more time. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back in the oven on its own. Okay, we should be able to get our first loaf out. It's beautiful. A little dark on the top because, well, it's kind of hard to control the heat. However, on the bottom, it's fine. And the sides are fine. You can scrape off that little bit of charcoal on the top. There's our first loaf. Now I think what I want to do is pull that second loaf out a little bit closer to the opening so it's not in the midst of so much heat. And I think I also want to turn it so that the side that was facing the fire is no longer facing the fire. Rotate it halfway around so we don't end up with a burned side. Should do. And I don't think I'm going to wait a half of an hour for the first step like I did for the first one. I think that's why my top got a little bit too brown. So it's only been 5 minutes. I'm going to give it another 10 minutes and pull the lid off at maybe the 15-20 minute mark. Come on, girls. Come on. Breakfast, you're fine. It's beautiful.